Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everyone doing today?
I'm good. Good morning, Abigail.
Good morning. Introduce us.
Good morning. This is Journeys and Ambitions. I'm Jennifer, aka Journeys. This is Abigail, aka Ambitions.
Facts. We got new mic stands. Can you guys see?
Yeah, I know. We gotta adjust them probably.
We're upgrading.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, we're upgrading here today in these streets.
A little bit at a time. We'll might have something different next week. You never know.
You never know.
We got some other things.
What are we talking about today?
What are we talking about today? Oh, this is Unwritten Rules, which I have deemed that may turn into pet peeves. I don't really know.
Yeah.
When we talked about in this, like we kind of went off for like 30 minutes about traveling.
Oh, yeah. Like the unwritten rules of like flying, traveling. I feel like people don't pay attention to like, I don't know, like social norms. And obviously it's different like when you're traveling out and stuff like that. Like to another like country with a different culture. The whole thing's shaking, so maybe just
okay. We'll get it together.
Yeah, like airplane etiquette. I feel like people don't have airplane etiquette.
So I wonder though, like you've traveled a lot because I've traveled a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of grew up with that etiquette.
Yeah.
And I know you and I, when we're on flights, we get super frustrated. We're like, what is wrong with this person? Right. So I think there's things that we think other people should know and they don't.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's self-explanatory. Right?
Mm-hmm. Like what?
Well, when you're getting off of an airplane, like everybody from the back goes like rushing through the. I mean, can we just do it orderly? Can we just do it like row by row? Did you never take the school bus? Did they never teach you this? I don't really understand.
Yeah.
You got people like not letting you out of your seat. That's my favorite. Like you're trying to get out of your row, but they won't let you out or won't let you get to your suitcase. I don't know.
Yeah. Keep going.
That's my biggest gripe. Well, that, and then there's people that don't want, they just kind of sit there. Oh man, I meet a lady really, really mad one time on accident. I felt bad, but she also looked like she wanted to beat me up. But I was trying to get my suitcase out of the overhead bin. And she was still sitting. She was sitting on the, the end, right?
Like the aisle seat.
The aisle seat, right? And not moving. And like everybody was standing up. She was not standing up. And basically I stuck my butt in her face.
But that's the thing about.
She's like, excuse me.
You don't get a certain level of privacy or personal space when you're flying on an airplane. And that's, something you just got to live with.
I mean, she was kind of mad. Like I did it on purpose, I'm like, oh, sorry, close quarters, ma'am.
Yeah. I am going to tell a story. I may have told this before. I don't know. But I'm going to, don't worry about it. I'm going to tell a story about when I was in a relationship and we were flying to another country and so we were flying to Mexico and I don't speak Spanish. His whole family speaks pretty much only Spanish. And so not that that's an issue, right? But so we get to the airport mad early because grandma wants to get there mad early. So we get there like 3 hours in advance.
Grandma who doesn't speak English.
Grandma doesn't speak English. 3 hours early, which is fine. We get there 3 hours early. And then we're sitting there for 3 hours and then it starts boarding. And the person I'm dating at the time goes up and he's like, I'm going to go shave my face. As the flight starts boarding.
I remember you telling me.
I was absolutely livid. And then I'm like, well, I'm getting on this flight. So I'm going to be there. I'm going to be at your sister's wedding. So I get my ass up and I go on the plane and his grandma's like, no, but his stuff. And I'm like, fuck that man. I'm like, I do not care. Leave him here. Cause I told him not to shave his face right then. And so, but
because he couldn't do it in the 3 hours.
He couldn't have done it in the 3 hours. Also, I do feel like there is a certain level at the airport, and I think we might stick to travel here for a little bit, but I think there is a certain level of
It is
common
dirty.
decency. It's like free reign at the airport. Like you can kind of do things that you wouldn't normally do. Like I'll sleep in front of somebody there. Like there's a different level of like trust too. Like you kind of have trust a little bit the people around you because you know that there's like lots of people watching, safety in numbers, blah 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 blah. In terms of like people like, I mean, I know terrible things happen at airports. We're not going to talk about that, but you get what I'm saying? Maybe not. Anyways,
well, now I have to tell an airport story.
I'm not done.
Oh, she's not done.
And well, I'm done with the story, but basically I'm just saying that like, and I was angry at the time, but then I just had to realize that not everyone has like airplane etiquette. Oh, so also I'm actually still more of that story. So we get on the plane and none of us are sitting next to each other because we waited till the last minute to board because somebody had to shave, even though they had 3 hours. But anyways, so we're like last to board the plane. So we obviously don't sit together. So grandma sits somewhere in between, like he's in the very front, I'm in the very back, whatever. And then grandma's somewhere in the middle. And so when the flight lands, and I don't think she'd ever flown before. So I'm pretty sure she had never flown before.
Oh, I think
when the flight lands, she gets up and walks all the way to the back to be near me. First of all, why me? I cannot communicate with you. Like, go be with your grandson who can like better talk to you.
Because
but I think
you're a girl, she was protecting you.
I think she sensed that I knew more what I was doing than
well,
man. Yeah. So that was a terrible experience. And you know, like I said, I think sometimes it can be like a cultural thing. Like we all have different manners. Like there are some unwritten rules here that like there aren't in Japan, and certain things in Japan that aren't
That's
here.
true.
I know Japan is like, I've seen videos online of like Japan's like kind of level or not level, like rules of like social norms and stuff like that. Like some of them are way more strict and then some of them aren't as strict.
I remember
as
my sister is, you know, she's super into like Japanese culture. And this was years ago. And I don't even think I did. I don't know. We were eating ramen and sushi and I didn't place my chopsticks correctly when I got up to do whatever I did. And she was like, oh, you can't do that. That's an insult. I'm like, to who? She goes, in Japan. I'm like, we're not in Japan. We're in Oklahoma. Like, you know, like, okay. I mean, thank you for the tip though. Next time I'm in Japan, which I've never been, so there's no next time, but I would love to go if anybody wants to send me there for any reason.
Terry said a good one. She said, people getting on an elevator, not allowing people off who are trying to get off.
You have legit heard me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we go to a beach house and we don't have we go to a beach house, a condo in Panama City Beach, Florida. And it's a horrible elevator system because there's a lot of condos and there's 4 elevators and usually at least one's broken, right?
Yeah.
But it just never fails when you go to get off of the elevator, the people trying to get on. I understand they've been waiting for a working elevator, but they try to get on. Sir and ma'am, there's going to be so much more room in here if you'd actually let me exit.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Anyway.
Yeah, facts.
I felt like there was another travel thing I wanted to have. But no, you're right. Now that you talked about grandma, I guess if you've never flown and you're older and I mean,
yeah,
I just feel like there's some stuff that you just kind of would look around and, oh, okay.
Like a lot of things like that is just like following the crowd, doing what everybody else is doing.
But if you, so I was going to tell my airport story was actually in Madrid, right? My first time leaving the country, I wasn't actually going to Madrid. I was changing planes there. And I was literally first time I've used a passport, everything. So I get there and I'm, you know, by myself too. And, I'm trying to navigate the airport and I have like a 6 or 7 hour layover, something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so I find this very nice man that works there and he speaks English and he was like really, you know, really well. And so I was like, oh, you're nice. Let me ask you a bunch of questions, you know?
Yeah.
And so where do I go? Where's this gate? So he points over there, you walk all the way here and then you do this and that. I said, okay. But I didn't want to leave this man's sight in case I needed him.
Yeah.
Because for some reason I didn't think I would find another English speaker, which is now I know that's ridiculous. But I wanted to stay near him where I could see him. So I found a metal bench where I could see him. And I laid on top of my carry-on in case I fell asleep and I went away stealing things. I like looped my hands through it and laid on top of it on a metal bench and went to sleep. Worst, right?
Yeah.
And then I wake up and I still have like an hour to go, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to venture over to said gate. Girl, When I tell you that when I rounded the corner and it was like an executive lounge with couches and restaurants and bars, and I was like, I really was laying on this metal damn bench in the middle of a hallway for the past, I was so mad. So, note to self, maybe check out the other area before you like lay down. But anyway, yeah.
Well, and I think also, especially if you're traveling to a place with like a different culture, it's important to kind of like see what people do there. And that way, like, I don't know, I don't really think you have to like blend in all the time, but you definitely want to make sure that like you're not like standing out and you're not like a target for anything, for any sort of weird behavior.
What's crazy now is like that's my first flight, right? My first flight out of the country. And I have connecting flights both directions.
Yeah.
And now every time I've left the country, I've had a direct flight. So I've like never had that experience again. Like, way to go, Jen, doing it your first time out.
Yeah.
It was cheaper, but whatever. Anyway. So, but then again, my whole point of that was kind of that maybe sleeping on the metal bench in the airport, laying on top of my stuff would have been bad etiquette in Spain.
Yeah, maybe it was.
I don't really know.
Maybe it looked crazy.
Maybe I did. They're like, oh, that American. Well, they probably said that anyway, but anyway.
Brittany said, anytime I travel out of the country, I try not to appear super American. Yeah, like you definitely, like I said, you don't want to be a target for anything. And I think people think Americans are like stupid or whatever. Like I know when we went to Europe, I watched a lot of videos that like just, different behavior. Like, cause me and my mom both talk really loud and like, that's a no in Paris. So like we were trying to like keep it down because we're loud ass bitches. So
I got shushed in Paris.
Yeah, not when we went though.
No, first time I went.
Tell the story.
I was in a restaurant and there were another American couple sat next to us, and very small restaurant where we're this close to people we don't know. And so we're chattering away and literally like people at tables are like, shh. Well, I had a few glasses of wine. So really loud. I'm like, did you just shush me? Like, they're like, we're going to get thrown out. We didn't get thrown out, but that was not proper of me. I was younger then.
Yeah.
But like, they really just shushed me. They were kind of rude when I walked in too, though. But
even like just like day to day, I feel like there's like unwritten rules. Like I don't know, I kind of feel like after COVID, like still when people stand in line somewhere or stand in a queue, they still kind of keep. It may not be a 6 foot distance, but they keep. Like I feel like people don't like get as up close to you.
So yeah, when you talk about
COVID, so I think like that's like been a cultural shift in like how we interact with people day to day too.
I think that is one of the key things, right? When you say unwritten rules, is personal space.
Yeah.
Like you ever have somebody come walk up, like you're like, whoa, why?
Yeah.
Why are you so close to me? Or I looked this up the other day just to see what other people thought. If anybody has any, thank you, Terry, for that, because that was the elevator one. That's definitely good.
Mm-hmm.
Or just touching somebody.
Yeah. And that's like,
again, that's other cultures too.
I'm not like a super touchy person, and like this is like different just with everybody you meet, right? But I do feel like if someone isn't really like super touchy with you back, maybe like back off. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
If you're being all like, oh,
I mean, again, I think you just said it.
And the other person is kind of just sitting there, maybe.
I think it's changed. It's definitely changed since the pandemic too.
Yeah. Because I don't like strangers touching me. I don't like touching strangers. And
then in France, they're just kissing you.
Yeah, kissing me. Don't kiss me on the cheek. And also, yeah, just like the random like even when strangers feel like they can like touch me or my hair, I'm like, ew. Like, I don't know. But some people see that as like, oh, I'm trying. Like the have you seen Drew Barrymore's talk show that she does?
I've seen clips of it.
And how she gets like super up close and like fucking in people's faces.
I know people love her, and I do actually love her.
That makes me so uncomfortable.
Yeah, or she like she gets on her knees and sits right in front of them.
That would make me so uncomfortable.
I don't watch the show, so I don't know the context, but it looks
uncomfortable. Like, I get it maybe if like someone is crying and having a really good heart-to-heart. She does that to every single guest she has. And Oprah looked so uncomfortable. I don't know. That would make me so uncomfortable. If I was going to go to a talk show, I'd probably go. I like Jennifer Hudson's talk show. I mean, don't get me wrong. If Drew Barrymore asked me on, I'd go. But
she will.
Yeah. But I would go on Jennifer Hudson. Who's that other lady? There's another lady. Oh, Kelly Clarkson has one. I would go on Kelly Clarkson's. Yeah.
We're just really going way. We're just going all over the place. We usually do, but
no, Drew Barrymore she doesn't understand the unwritten rules of like, back the fuck up. Like, get out of my personal, don't like breathe. If I can smell your breath, you are too close to me. Back up. And like, I feel like that's also part of like, maybe COVID has made me like that, where I'm like, and it's not for me, it's not even about illness. It's about like, I just don't want you like near me like that.
Well, I'm not a hugger.
I'm not a big hugger either. I will like hug certain people sometimes. I do. I love a good side hug. I don't really like to like full frontal hug people like that. I don't.
I don't know. I've in the back of my head, I'm like celebrities are watching us. I'm like, I'll go on the I want to go with Trevor Noah.
Who's Trevor Noah? Oh, is he? Yeah. The Daily Show? Yeah. I'd go on his show too.
Yeah, he's funny.
If you're listening.
Just in case, I thought if you were gonna list, I better add one in there too. You never know. It could happen.
Yeah.
So, unwritten rules. What else you got?
What else
are we gonna do?
Let's do our comments and then come back. Well, I want to read some comments.
You know what?
Brittany said, this Canadian lady was talking so much shit about the U.S. when we were in Barbados. Her face dropped when I told her I was American. She thought I was really from Barbados. Or that I was actually from Canada.
Oh, yeah. She said that.
Yeah. Terry, why did I say Canadian?
Canadian. Canadian.
Terry said, I met the friendliest and most helpful people in Paris by greeting them with bonjour in my most southern accent. They immediately spoke to me in English and were very kind. That is true.
That was a thing. When you looked before we went, it's impolite if you don't do that. Allegedly.
Say hi. But they also don't want small talk, which I actually like. I don't like when like, I know like we live in the South and like people are very like, they want to chit. I don't like random chit chat with strangers. Like prolonged, right? Like I don't mind like a quick little interaction, but some people, they really, really, really like to talk. Oh my gosh. I went to Whataburger the other day.
Here we are.
They're choosing to watch it. They're choosing to watch it. No, I went to Whataburger the other day with my friend, and I've been to this Whataburger before, and like there's this guy, and they always put him outside, and he talks so much and says very unnecessary things, and like, I don't know, this poor man, he probably doesn't have a lot of people to talk to, so I feel bad. But we like were tired, right? It was late at night. That's the only reason we went to Whataburger. It was late at night. We needed something to eat. So we're like in the drive-thru, and she is my friend is a very like chit-chatty, like, how are you doing today? And so I'm like, oh my God. So he's kind of is like being off, right? Because he's just a weird dude. She goes, are you okay? And I'm like, oh no. She unleashed the beast. It was insane. And then
She recorded part of it.
Well, because it started off because I was in the passenger seat and I was like trying to order, and he goes, oh, you don't have to lean forward, just like say it from there. But then I couldn't hear what he was saying, and I was like, no, I'll lean forward, like I want to hear what you're saying. And then he was like trying to get down on the ground. That's why she asked, are you okay? Because he's trying to get down on the ground, but he was a not very coordinated fella, and he kept falling, and then he was trying to get up and he was grunting. We could have been done ordered by now, by the way. This is what I'm saying when he said unnecessary things like, oh, well, you don't have to lean forward. I can hear you. Yeah, bro, I can't hear you. Anyways. And so then she goes, are you okay? And he goes, well, my back's been hurting because I've been playing my video games on my bed. And, it's not very comfortable. My back's been hurting. And then
and the pivotal points.
And then he goes on and on and on. And then we finally get to a point, and she's like shaking her card. She's like ready to pay. And she's like shaking her card, and he's like not getting the hint. And he goes, all right, well, what sauces do you want? And so then we finally say what sauces we want. And then she goes, you should really, this is what really sent me over the edge. Like, because I could tell she was getting impatient. She knew I was getting impatient. He could probably tell I was getting impatient. She goes, have you ever thought about getting a gaming chair?
So Abby,
no, I'm not done. I did record this interaction. I'm not going to play it for you, but I did record this interaction because I don't have the people's permission, so I don't want to play it.
Right.
But I did record it because then he starts going through, well, my bedroom, it's about from like right here, and you see like the edge of that building, and then maybe from like here, you see that like line in the road for the second lane. It's probably about that big, so I don't really know if a gaming chair could. No social like awareness, and like I get it, not everyone like is down with the social awareness, and that's fine. You don't have to be, but that doesn't make my interactions any less unpleasant.
I was just saying, so she's telling me about this, and then she goes, "Wait, I recorded it," and she did, and her friend, she goes, "Well, have you ever thought of a gaming chair?" And he starts talking, and you could see her body language was like, "Oh, that was the wrong thing." She was like, "Oh no." So she was trying to be helpful, and then immediately regretted that decision.
It was not helpful.
Yeah. Anyway,
no.
So there you go. There is an unwritten rule.
When someone's yapping, don't ask questions. Stop asking questions. That's my unwritten rule. Actually, I'm writing it down. When someone's yap, can't shut up, don't ask them a question. Get to the point.
Or take the if I'm giving you 1 or 2 word answers, it's probably like,
right. When I throw in a Dan, that's crazy. Dan, that's crazy. Yeah. If I start doing that, it's time to shut up. Be quiet.
Now I know. She says that to me all the time.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
All right. Let's do comments.
Oh, yeah.
So first,
these are both yours.
Oh, well, you didn't pink. I thought maybe you were going to read
No.
them.
So the first one, I'll read them.
Okay.
So the first one says,
this is my favorite one.
Which video is this from? The one on the left.
It's a clip about like dating at 50.
Okay. It says, what internet being available for over 30 years, that woman must be 50. Boom. Seriously, my neighbors dated at clubs, uni, and there was a magazine and postcard dating. You send in a letter asking a tall, handsome guy, get 20 cards back and select from them.
How? She meant to say how.
Huh?
The next time, sorry.
That's how my neighbor's daughter got her first date out of town. Crazy, right? First of all,
I've never heard of that, and she said uni, so I think she's British.
She's British, and I think it's a man.
Or he. Sorry. What's the name?
I don't know. It doesn't matter because they're stupid, and I don't know why they're... Was that controversial?
No, I was going to reply to them with a link to this show so they could see that we talked about their comment.
Oh.
I'm going to do that with the next 2, too.
Okay.
Because why not?
Yeah, but don't comment stupid shit. I mean,
they
who
clearly...
the hell is going to send in postcards? Okay, okay.
Well, that must have been a thing. I just thought it was funny because she said, what are you talking about? You must be 50. Well, actually, yes, I am 50. So truthfully, dating before the internet. Yes, ma'am. Or sir.
I don't really understand what they're saying.
Anyway.
Okay, they're stupid anyways.
They only watched a reel. So
so the other comment says, which comment is, or which video is this from?
Both of these are from the Mamma Mia show. And it's the clip where I said that your dad didn't get me anything for my first Mother's Day.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick said, typical women, men go their whole lives without acknowledgement. She's bitching on E-Day. I don't get it. Okay. And then Unslad said, always playing the victim. Women have no idea. Hold on. Always playing the victim. Women have no idea what it's like being a man and little respect and acknowledgement we get. So please stop crying because once upon a time something happened. How obscure, what the fuck are you saying? Sounds like you're playing the victim. Oh, we get no respect or acknowledgement. Shut up. Maybe shut the fuck up. Maybe.
Well, thank you so much for your comments. I'm going to respond.
We need to do positive comments too, because I can't just be sitting here angry and bitching the whole time.
We did positive last time. But thank you so much for your comments. If anybody has something to say about these comments, please chime in. I'm going to respond to them with a link to the actual show in case they want to put context to what they commented on. And then I'm going to put a link to this show so they can see any comments to their comment.
I mean, I
think that's a good idea.
I like the hater comments, but it's just funny because you sound dumb, always playing the victim. And then
was I very victim?
You have no idea what it's like being a man and what little respect and acknowledgement we get. Boo fucking who? I really don't care. There's not a single part of me that gives a single little bit of a fuck. None at all. Literally none at all.
Keep the comments coming. Clearly it gets her fired up.
Who are you?
Anyway, I think it's funny the comments people make when
Are these from YouTube or TikTok?
YouTube.
Okay.
And so they can click and watch the whole show. I mean, they don't have to, but
They don't have to.
I just really enjoy the comments that are like based on 30 seconds of the whole show. You know.
Well, no, that's the point, right?
That is the point.
Yeah, that is the point. But it's just funny to me that people get like I'm getting worked up right now, but you commented on my stuff. But why are you getting so worked up? Like, literally scroll, babe. Literally scroll. Not that hard. Brittany was laughing. She said that was funny. And then she said, men want to be the victim so much. That's true. That's literally so true.
I don't know what it's like being a man. I do.
I've never been a man, but I feel like I know. I know everything.
I did make a human and was just a little upset that I didn't get, my first Mother's Day acknowledgement.
It was just so dumb.
Woe is me.
It was so dumb to me. Your opinion is invalid. You're wrong. You're stupid. Anyway.
No one's going to comment on our stuff anymore.
That's okay.
We're going to need a new segment.
No, because then we're going to trigger people and then more people will comment.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't mind triggering people.
I know you don't.
Yeah, so unwritten rules. Don't comment on my shit.
I was saying, is that an unwritten rule?
No. Actually, I should make, oh my gosh, idea. I should write a book about like all the like things that like people don't talk about, but like everyone kind of knows.
Isn't that what we're doing right now?
I said I'm going to make a book. Is this a book? This is a podcast.
No, but let's get through this first before you start your book. Are you starting right now?
Today?
Well, I don't know. You got your phone out. I didn't know if you're making notes or something. This is recorded, so you can watch it later. Chapter 1.
Chapter 1.
Don't comment stupid shit on
I don't know. And also, like, I know more and more people are talking about, like, how you shouldn't comment on people's bodies. Like, you shouldn't say, like, well, because obviously I think, and in some cultures they do this. They'll be like, oh, you got fat. You gained weight. I know that there's some cultures where they do that. And I don't think we do that. Like, people might do it here, but it's not, like, seen as, like, acceptable to do that here. But I think now people are saying that, like, you shouldn't even comment, like, at all. Like, positive or negative, skinny, fat, tall, short. Like, you just shouldn't make comments on people's bodies. And I kind of support that.
I think there's times you maybe could, and I'm just going to give you, for instance, I hadn't seen a friend in a long time, probably a year, well, not long time, but like a year or two, right? Mm-hmm. And I saw her at a gathering. My girlfriends and I, all got together. There's like 10 of us, and I hadn't seen her in a while, and she was so thin, like she wasn't heavy to begin with. She was so thin. And I kind of blurted it out just because I was very surprised, and then I didn't say anything. But then later I kind of went to the other girls who had seen her, and I was like, I mean, is she okay?
Yeah.
And I wasn't trying. I was legitimately like, is there something? Is her health okay? Because she was she was very, not just like, hey, I'm toning up. She was very thin. And anyway. So I think there's times that you make a comment and you're not being malicious. You actually care for that person.
Well, but I think that's why they kind of say like you shouldn't really just say anything at all, positive or negative, because something you see as positive, someone else might see like as negative. Like I'm a thick girl, right? Like, so I got bigger thighs and a big butt. And like sometimes people think that they're being really like complimentary when they say like, damn, like whatever, or you know what I'm saying? And like, sometimes I don't like love that about myself. Like, yeah, you see it as a positive thing. In the same way that like I may see like a girl and be like, oh, she's so skinny. Like, oh, you're so skinny. And she might be like, that might be something she's really insecure about.
Right.
And so I'm not saying I don't do it. I'm not a perfect person. But like they say like you shouldn't, or even say like unless you say just like, oh, you look good. But then some people twist that and they say, oh, so I don't always look good? Like, damn, when people like that actually piss me off. Just because I compliment something doesn't mean that just because I didn't compliment you another day that I hated that. Something about you like is standing out like, ooh, I like the way your hair looks today. So my hair is fucking ugly every day. Literally no and huh?
Who does that?
People do that. People do that. And I'm like, get over yourself that you think I'm like that obsessed with you.
I guess it depends on how well you know somebody because
I'm feeling very negative today.
Because like
Read it.
Terry Gibson. If I lose weight, people better fucking notice and tell me how great I look. So,
I think it's different. I think it's different too when you like have a group of friends and they know that you've been trying to lose weight.
Right.
And so I don't think that's necessarily wrong. But like when it's someone you don't really know that well and you're just like making unwarranted comments. I think that's okay. Or like if you know your friend is like, you know, maybe trying to gain muscle and you say, damn girl, like you're looking really strong. You know what I mean? I think that's like, okay.
I just think I think it's a shame that we have to worry about giving someone a compliment which way they're going to take it. Yeah. Not the weight thing, I guess, but I'm just saying, you know, how you said someone would go, what are you saying? It looks bad. The rest of it. You know what I mean?
That actually bothers me so much. Although when someone says that, I'll be like, yeah, actually, your hair is ugly every day except for today.
Have you ever had the?
I'll like really lean in on it.
Here's an unwritten rule. Have you ever had the backhanded compliment or the compliment, the insulting compliment or whatever? So my ex-mother-in-law, she was like, I'd cut my hair short, and she's like, Jen, you cut your hair. I'm like, yeah. She's like, it was pretty long.
Yeah, that's wild.
Oh. You know? Yeah. Thanks. I don't know. You know what I mean? So don't do that. Unwritten rule, don't do that.
I'm also the type of person, like, I notice little things about people, and like sometimes I'll point it out just to kind of like, it's never anything bad. Like it's literally just like a trait, and like that's happened before where I'm like, oh well, I've noticed, you know, you kind of do this when you smile or whatever. And I'm like, you know, I'm saying it as like, I pay attention to you. I noticed this thing about you. Yeah. And like, sometimes if you say something and it's like something that they don't like, you're like, oh shit, actually I should shut up. I shouldn't have said anything.
I didn't know until you started working for, oh, hello, we're on
LV Without Radio.
Did you sing Good Morning this morning?
Good morning. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know.
Keep going.
I didn't notice till the. See, now I'm doing it. I didn't notice till I started, you know, guesting on that show. Then we had our own show that I have like a stutter that I just did. And then I would watch the show back, and I'm like, do I do that all the time?
It's not the stutters that get me; it's the long pauses that get me.
It's me thinking.
You gotta be on it, Jennifer. This is live radio.
Oh, did you just edit yourself? Because you usually don't. And that's why I have pauses, because I edit some of the stuff I'm going to say.
Oh, I don't. Okay, more unwritten rules. Did you have anything in mind?
I felt like we had a lot.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of them were travel related.
Pick a topic.
Pick a topic. Okay, how about when I'm shopping? Shut your baby up. I said this on the Love and Victory show last week for my Cut the Crap. I said people need to really shut their baby up, or like take it away, put it somewhere. Like, I don't know. Like, I know you're not supposed to put kids in the car, but like, don't be out in public with this screaming, annoying little baby child, please.
Yeah.
Like continuous, right? Like I get it. The kid starts screaming. You try to, but like when your kid is, anyways. That's what
I actually feel. I mean, as annoying as it is, like I've felt really bad for moms, like on an airplane or something. I mean, what are you gonna do? There's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
May I suggest Benadryl though? In small doses, don't kill your child. Just put them to sleep for a little bit.
We don't endorse that. Don't listen to what Jennifer just said.
They make it for children.
Let's talk about unwritten, like professional rules, because I think some people that I know, like as I kind of lean more into my big girl job, there are like some things that I learned, like to do and what not to do. So do you have any like corporate, professional, work from home, do's and don'ts, unwritten rules, common courtesy, common sense?
There's email etiquette. There's like conference call etiquette.
Oh,
mute the line.
So people don't hear your BS in the back.
Although I will say that when I, because I was doing this right before the show, I had a conference call, and it's a tough crowd when you're presenting and everybody's on mute.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't do this. But I could, like the people who do podcasts all by themselves or radio shows. Ooh, no response, no interaction, no.
And you're just talking.
Like I couldn't do it.
I could do it.
I think you walked out of the room once, and I was like, I don't know what to do.
I could do it. I have a lot to say.
I think you could do it. Yeah.
Sometimes I do.
Well, you do little Snapchats or TikToks or.
I used to.
You just did it when you buy your iPad.
I mean, yeah.
Like last week.
Y'all should follow me on TikTok because I'm trying to be famous. A lot of my TikToks are, as of right now, very stupid, very dumb. But what's my It's Abby G ABBYGLOL. Follow me on TikTok. I think that's my Instagram as well. Follow me on Instagram because she's in her influencer era. I know last week I said I'm in my bag.
Now you said you're in your cool girl era.
Chill girl era.
Oh.
I'm in my chill girl influencer bag era.
I'm in my AARP era.
iPad era. Matter of fact, look, I'm watching the show along with you guys. All right.
Oh, hey, you want to talk about bowling and brunch? Bowling, is that what it's called?
Yes.
I don't have anything for this. You don't have the commercial?
No.
All right, then just talk about it. You did the commercial.
So LNV Enterprise Resources Inc. is hosting a bowling and brunch on June 30th. At Delmar Lanes from 2 to 4 p.m. Make sure you buy your tickets. You can DM us on Instagram if you want the link. I'll send it to you. Hit me up. Peace and blessings. Show up. Be there. Be square. Jennifer hasn't bought her ticket yet, but she's going to be there.
I 100% knew you were just going to say that. She has been bugging me to buy tickets, but she also requested teams of 6.
Okay.
So who wants to go?
So
who wants to be on my team?
If you don't have 6, you're just going to have 0. That makes no sense.
I was waiting till I had 6.
Okay.
I don't have to do that? You'll put the 6 together later, or?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well, I need a team of 6, and I have a team of 2 right now, allegedly. So let me know if you want to go. Sunday, the 30th. Prizes. Oh, and bring school supplies for.
Yes, for the school supplies drive, 2024 school supplies drive. That's right. And then we should talk more about Unwritten Rules.
Well, what do you got?
What do you got?
I thought we were going to talk about email etiquette.
Then talk about it, Jennifer.
So I got an email this morning. Mind you, I logged in kind of early to get some stuff done, right? So I wasn't even supposed to be at work yet. And I saw that I had an email, you know, and I'm like, I'm trying to get something done. So I'm not going to even look at my emails yet. Cause really I'm not even supposed to be working. And then I open it up and it's like a snarky email from a coworker that's like, Jennifer, like this is your account in case you didn't know, like, something like that. I emailed you last night about this, blah, blah, blah.
Last night, girl.
Yesterday. Or he goes, yesterday. So I look at the email that he sent at 9 p.m. So he sent me something after I get off work. And then he sends me something before I work, like angry.
That's psychotic.
What are you doing?
I want to talk about texting etiquette too.
Oh, okay, go.
I know, and this is my roast Jen hour. Jennifer likes to send message after message after. We're going to talk about the no context messages.
Should I just not text you?
Maybe. Or like.
Then what would you talk about?
But like, let me see.
Oh, you're going to show it?
Yes. She asked me if I wanted pasta. She wanted last night. Do you want me to make pasta? I said, no, I think I'm going out to eat. And she said, okay, whole new message. Or a salad, whole new message, LOL. And then I
why is that annoying?
Because it's several messages. YouTube, both. I have an idea. These are all different messages. And that stresses me out.
You know what? Let's roast Abby right now. I would like to point
Please
out.
do.
I would like to point out that as she is complaining about my texting style, I was offering to make her dinner.
Okay, that's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about texting. I'm not talking about food.
No, I talked about roasting you. So there you go.
Okay. Anyways, back to what I was saying.
Unwritten rules that when you're a mom, when you're an adult and your mom makes you dinner, that's awesome.
How about, okay.
Same.
I don't know. I feel like if you okay, and this goes for maybe not so much my mom, but like other people, right? If you message me on text, I'm way more likely to like read that message than like messaging me on something else. I don't have my notifications on for any of my apps.
Oh, same.
So like, if you want to tell me something important, then it's time. First of all, if it's time, like you need my attention right now, call me. Call a bitch. Because I am way more likely to answer a phone call or like return a phone call than like a text message. Because when you send me a text message, I take that as like, I'm going to answer when I feel like answering.
Oh, yes, please. Okay. That's my thing too, right? If somebody calls me
I will always return a call
and doesn't leave a voicemail and doesn't text me, do I need to call back?
No, I'll call people back.
Because I've said that, like, well, I called you and you didn't call me back. And I was like, but you didn't text me and you didn't leave a message. So.
Well, no, I disagree.
Oh.
I think if I call somebody or if like someone calls me and even if I don't get like a message from them, I'll call them back when I can.
Okay, so I bet maybe that's a generational thing too. Because like at first we didn't even have answering machines, and then we did. But if you didn't leave a message, we didn't know you called.
Yeah, that's true.
So now you're just using technology to be like, but I called you. Well, like, okay, well.
Yeah.
I'm 50. You should have told me what you wanted.
That's how I feel too. Like if I call you, I don't know if my best friend is watching this. I don't know if I sent it to her. But my best friend, I called her the other day because I was driving and I was like, we were meeting up somewhere, and she texted me like exactly 5 minutes later and was like, "Oh, sorry, girl, I didn't see your call." That girl's always on her phone. I know she doesn't like talking on the phone. I'm pretty sure she watched my call go to voicemail and then waited a few minutes. Like, I'm like, I need to ask her because I'm pretty sure that's what happened. It's because she doesn't really like talking on the phone. But, like, I'm driving and I'm not about to text you, like, everything I need to, like, ask you about how to get there and stuff. Like, I don't know. But, like, I guess maybe that's an unwritten rule for other people. Like, don't call me. But I'm going to
that meme when you text somebody and then they call you back. Oh.
Yeah. I love a good phone call chat.
What about like food unwritten rules or restaurant unwritten rules?
Restaurant unwritten rules.
And then I think that I have some weird quirks too. So I'm just going to say mine. And I wonder if anybody agrees with me. And maybe it's just because, you know, I'm a mom and have been a wife and all that good stuff. But when if I make dinner and, you know, the family all sits down and I'm finishing up and then I finally sit down and I haven't finished eating and then everybody like gets up and leaves and I'm sitting there alone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I think that you should sit there and talk to me until I'm done eating since I just made you dinner.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think most people kind of like wait until the other person gets their food to start eating. At least to start digging in, right? Like, I think it's one thing if like you eat a French fry while you're waiting or whatever, but like to start digging in your meal while the other person has nothing in front of them, I think is a little rude.
Yeah, I think it's polite. I don't think it would offend me if someone did, but it is kind of nice.
Yeah.
But or just like, you know, being nice to your servers and all that. That's kind of
I don't know. I feel like also since COVID, wait staff and like customer service has been not good. No ma'am, no ma'am.
So
because I feel like sometimes I go to places and they act like they're annoyed that I'm there. Like, why are you showing up? Bitch, don't you get paid by tips? Like, be nice to me.
Well, that is true. So there's both sides of that, right? Like you know, where I grew up, we didn't have the sub minimum wage thing that they do here. So you got, you know, $7, $8, whatever the minimum wage is, plus tips. So wasn't as much as a driving force here. Like, so here you get $2.13 an hour, which basically you get nothing because you get taxed on your tips and there goes your check, right? So you are working for tips. So yes, you're right. I would think that the level of pleasantry would go up, you know?
Yeah.
Let's just take pride in your work. But I personally, though, have like, I'll tip them anyway. I'll tip them whatever because I know that they're making $2. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel inclined to, I'll give them 20% anyway.
I won't give 20, but I'll give something. I won't do nothing. Brittany commented about speaking on the phone. She said, I prefer to speak on the phone. Sometimes text messages get screenshot and sent all around if I'm calling. I just don't want to spill tea. Exactly. That's another thing about texting. Like certain conversations I don't want to have over text because like, not that I'm saying anything like incriminating or whatever. Like, I don't know. That shit's in writing. That's forever. And don't underestimate the storage on your devices, y'all, because I'm telling you, you think something's gone and then you get a new device, and this didn't necessarily happen with my iPad, but it's happened to me before. Like you sign up for a new like Google Photos, Google Drive, something, and you like sync it, and then randomly like old things will come up. So yeah, that's true about text message. Be careful, y'all, with the text message you're sending.
I do. Yes, there are some things I won't put in an email or put in a text message either, but also just I don't have the texting fingers that like, you know, you have. So if it's too much, if I'm like, oh, I gotta spill some tea, so I'm gonna spill it. I'm like, no, call me. Like I'm not gonna. That's too much. It's just too much.
Especially if you're like talking shit and you send it to the person you're talking shit about. I've done that before.
Done that
because you're like thinking about that because you're thinking about that person, so you type their name in or like you look. I've done that. Not a long time, and I don't really do a lot of my shit talking through text. I mean, I don't shit talk.
I took a screenshot.
I'm lying. Ha! You missed a funny moment. Because.
Oh, what'd you say? Was it funny? Somebody tell me if it was funny.
It's gone. It's gone.
What'd you say? I'll watch it back. I'll leave a comment.
Terry said, my restaurant pet peeve is when someone's meals comes out at different times. Yeah, that bothers me. If you know one of the plates is going to take longer, wait to start making the other plate. It's called time management, babe. Learn it.
Well, or the other side of that is when one person has hot food and somebody else's food is cold. Well, that sucks. My friend one time, though, still makes me laugh. Mm-hmm. We were out, and she is, she's Sally from When Harry Met Sally, where she has the precise order, right?
Oh, I'm that way.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
she's ordering French fries, right? And she's like, they need to be hot, like hot. Like I want them to fry the inside of my mouth. They have to be hot, right? And she says it like 3 times, like it's like immediately give them to me. Right? Okay. I guess they weren't hot enough, but I had fries too. And so she goes, they're cold. And she goes, how about yours? And reaches over and puts her hand directly on top of my French fry, like this. And I was like,
I have a story to tell too.
And I'm like, oh, I know what you're going to say. Yeah. And I was like, well, now it doesn't matter. You just put your hands all over them. Anyway, so they brought us 2 new fries, and I was scared to eat them because also she was not kind about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know what story you're going to tell.
It's technically 2 in 1. I have a family member who takes it upon herself to eat the food right off my plate, right out of my hands, actually, even. So we're on a little trip, family trip, right? And I'm eating a bagel with cream cheese, and I love bagels and cream cheese. I like that. I could live off of bagels and cream cheese. And so I'm eating the bagels and cream cheese. She takes it from my hand, rips it. It takes half of the half and eats it. And
that's not.
There's more. I said it's 2 in 1.
My bad.
Listen.
I don't even remember the bagel one.
Okay. Then be quiet. Listen. Anyways, so she eats half my bagel, and I'm already a little annoyed because just the entitlement. Don't, first of all, putting your hands on my food is crazy. Is insane. So then we're sitting in the car. This is a 3 to 4 hour car drive, right? I'm sitting in between her and her partner, and then my parents are sitting up front because I'm the child, right? So I'm sitting in the middle. And I'm eating hot Cheetos. She's a Latina. She loves hot Cheetos. And so I'm eating my hot Cheetos, grubbing down, enjoying every minute of it. Every crunch, every bite is tantalizing. It's exhilarating. So then she reaches her hand in my bag of chips, takes a bite, and she goes, ooh, hot! And half of the chip is still in her hand, puts the other half back in my chip bag. She freaked out. Keep in mind, this is an old lady, and I'm
12.
I'm 12 years old, and I'm like, why would you do that? Are you crazy? And I literally find it in there, and I toss it out the window, and I'm like, why would you know you don't like spicy food? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? And why would you put it back? Why would you put it back in the bag? She really did this at 12 years old. Go. And I'm not even a germaphobe, really. I'm really not. But that's my food, and you didn't even ask. Can I have one? And then maybe I would have been like, okay, yeah. And then I would have tilted my bag the other way because I know you're not gonna. I don't know. Just the entitlement of it. Don't touch my food. Don't touch my plate.
I don't know if it goes with that. Well, I guess it does. Same person though.
Talk in your microphone.
Okay. It's my ex-mother-in-law. I'm just going to say it because now it's going to be obvious. But she, when I first met my ex and her, and we went out, to eat, she reached across with her fork and took things off his plate and ate it. Huh. And I was like, and it did not faze him at all. So apparently this is a thing they do in their family. But I mean, you're my daughter. I would ask you, ooh, can I try that? I'm not, unless you're telling me to. Anyway, I thought that was weird. So I think that's unwritten rules. Do not put your fork on my plate unless I invite you.
And also, when you live with somebody.
Plus, I'm pretty serious about food.
When you live with somebody too, right? I feel certain, and we've talked about this before, roommates, certain things, you can share, right? But what I think is so super messed up in a relationship, roommate situation is to eat somebody's leftovers, restaurant leftovers, is actually crazy. I think you and I have both done it to each other. So
I was like, are you gonna roast me? Because I've totally done that.
we've both done it to each other. But I do think that's like.
I also know though, you're bad about it. You used to not really eat your leftovers. And I also know that you will literally only eat it the next day.
Yeah.
If it goes another day. So she doesn't bring it to work or whatever. I'm like, oh, free game. Sometimes you text me too and tell me to eat it.
Okay, I'm ready to do Am I the Asshole? I'm done talking about this.
This is interesting subject.
Why?
I said earlier, I was like, I think we're just going to start talking about our pet peeves.
Yeah.
We're going to bitch. This is our bitching hour.
Yeah.
Instead of the witching hour, the bitching hour.
Okay. Am I the asshole for not telling my girlfriend I make more than her? 6 months ago, I, 27 male, lost my previous job. Oh, first of all, this one was rated. They rate them on Reddit if they're the asshole or not the asshole. I'm not going to tell you what the rating is because I want to know what you guys say. Okay, I'll start over. Am I the asshole for not telling my girlfriend I make more than her? 6 months ago, I, 27 male, lost my previous job at a software company. I had enough savings to support myself while I found a new job and continued to split bills with my girlfriend of 4 years, Anna, 26 female. We've always split things 50-50 as we work in similar fields and earned roughly the same salary. 2 months ago, I got a job at Anna's tech company doing the same job she does on a different team. Anna has worked there for 5 years and recently got a promotion. She was initially really excited, and so was I. Working for the same company has been a really positive experience for our relationship, except in one area, money. I make just over $12K more than Anna. It's become clear to me over the past 2 months, every time we talk about budgeting and finances, that she's assuming we're making the same amount. When I finally told her, she was very upset I hadn't told her before because she feels it's unfair that we continue to split bills 50-50 if I make so much more than her. She was also upset that we have the same job and that I make more. I told her that's not my fault and that we should keep splitting bills 50-50 because my salary is barely $1K more than hers a month, and she called me an asshole. She's been sulking ever since. Am I the asshole? Yes. Dead air. Yes or no?
I know what it says, but I don't know. They're not married, right?
No, but they live together and they split the bills 50-50.
Right. I think if you're married, well, I don't know. I mean, if you're a roommate, which they're not married, that's his girlfriend, right? If it's your roommate, am I gonna?
You're gonna split 50-50, yeah.
Exactly. No matter who.
But they're not roommates. They're together.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. I think things should be split.
I think it would be nice if he paid a little bit more.
Not dollar for dollar percentage, right? Because that's not always possible to like really work out. There's certain things you can't anticipate. But I can see why she's frustrated because they are working the same job and he's getting paid more than her. $12K a year is a lot. And $1,000 a month is also a lot. That's a lot of money.
Okay.
That's some people's entire rent. So if you make a whole entire rent more than she's making, like the least you could do is like maybe like take over like some of the utility bills.
Or
so she doesn't have to pay those.
I mean, again, we don't get all the context. Maybe he pays every time they go somewhere.
That's true.
I mean,
that's true.
I don't know. I'm inclined to say that. I mean, if you're, I don't know, how would you feel if you got a raise and you're like, woohoo, extra money, and then your mate's like, oh no, pay more of the bills? You'd kind of be like, oh, well, there went my extra money. I
think to a certain degree, like, they call it. Well, I know they're not married, right? But they do live together, and that is, some people don't get married. Like, all they ever do is live together, right? So let's just assume they're in a very serious relationship. They're life partners, right? They call it a household income. So it should be more money for the household. You know what I mean? And like you said, they're not married, so maybe things would be different if they were married. Because, I don't know, when you're with somebody to that capacity, not everything is, like, yours. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, I get what you're saying about them, like, being married versus not married. That does make a difference.
I'm honestly, like, I'm on the fence, right? Because I see it.
I think the fact that he didn't tell her that he made so much more than her and they worked the same job in the same company, like, I don't know. I feel like if you cared about the person, you would say, like, hey, maybe talk to your upper management about getting a raise. Although it is different when you get hired somewhere and someone's been working there. Usually the person getting hired will get paid more.
Or I guess, if it's your mate, and it would be nice to be like, hey, I just got this raise, so I'm going to pay for groceries, or I'm going to like take on something a little extra would be nice.
Yeah, because he knew how much she was making. I don't think so. The question is, am I the asshole for not telling my girlfriend I make more than her? To answer that question, no, because you did tell her once you realized she assumed. You know what I'm saying? He didn't go out of his way to like say like, oh, I make more than you, by the way. But like when she assumed that he was making the same and he realized that and he said it.
So I don't know if this is a thing anymore. I want to say that I don't think it is, but it very much used to be a thing that you were not allowed to talk about your salary at work. Like you could get in trouble or fired.
I think there's laws against that now.
That you're allowed to do it now?
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. They can't make you not. I mean, they can like treat you differently, I guess, but
But it just, I mean, she doesn't work there anymore, so I can say this, but I had a girl who was training me at my job and she was sharing her screen. We were remote and she like pulled up her paycheck and I was like, I mean, she's training me and I just started and I made quite a bit more than her. Oops. So I'm not going to tell her that because I don't want her to feel bad, but I mean, I kind of even felt bad.
And like that goes back into unwritten rules, right? Like even if your company doesn't have like a blatant policy about it, like there are just certain things you shouldn't really discuss.
So,
but unless you feel like there's and I think the reason they I've let up a little bit on that is because that's how people figure out that they're being underpaid or that like discrimination is happening and stuff like that.
Well, my thought on that particular situation, again, I don't know what the rules are, but also they work at the same place doing the same job. Are they supposed to be dating or living together? I think maybe he didn't tell her because all of those things.
Yeah.
Like if she causes a stink and says, oh my gosh, homie makes more than me. And they're like, okay, like you guys can't work in the same department. One of you has to leave because this is clearly causing issues. Whatever, so whatever.
Let's read some comments and then wrap it up. Brittany said, gender pay gap is still very prevalent. I would be more pissed at the job seeing as she has been there longer. Terry said, I don't think income counts when you're in a 50-50 relationship. She is mad because he makes more than her for the same job and taking it out on him. Brittany said, I'm actually on the fence about not telling her. There are no laws against talking about pay. Oh, that's what it is. There aren't laws that say that listen to her. She knows what I'm talking about.
I mean, I don't know about, I know it was frowned upon, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Especially if
so like to Terry's point, like 50-50, I think it would be different. Like if that was the agreement when you moved in together. Like, hey, you make 100,000 and I make 50,000. So you get the master bedroom and you pay, 2/3 of the rent, whatever.
Yeah.
If it's obviously they don't, not obviously, but they may share a bedroom. Point being, like, if that was the agreement when you moved in, okay.
Well, I just think if you
better yourself,
if you are completely independent in your finances and you're living with a partner and you're both completely independent, everything is exactly 50-50. Like, let's say they're really strict about it. Like, I don't know. Like, if I made more than like my partner that I'm living with and like I have all this extra money because I'm cheaping out by us going 50-50 because I'm paying less than I would by myself. But you're struggling and now you don't have any extra money to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think as a partner, you should want them to be like, no, like I want us to be able to do things together. Like, and I don't want to like take advantage. I feel like, and I'm not saying for this situation, the $12,000, I'm just saying like, if it's to a point where like, you're like benefiting and the other person is suffering because of the pay difference and the bills, then I think you need to reevaluate your relationship.
I just think it probably speaks to your relationship, right? But think about it this way. If I live in an apartment that's $1,000 a month and then I get a raise, the apartment doesn't charge me more money because they know I make more. So
yeah,
if you've budgeted and then you get a raise, woohoo, now I have extra money. No, now I got to give up more of it. And I mean, then
I don't know. If I lived with somebody and I made more money, you know what I would do? I would say, listen, I have a raise. I can take on this extra bill. You don't necessarily have to like rework every single bill that you guys share together, but like, hey, making a little extra money, like, I'll start getting the groceries just so like so that you don't have to put your extra money towards that and have less money for yourself. Because again, you've already budgeted with the lower thing, so that extra money should be extra. And I get it, whatever, it's your money, do whatever you want, but like you should. if the goal is like long-term partnership and marriage, I think, and you want to like,
yeah, I mean, it really kind of
they do call it a household income. It's not an individual, it's a household income because you guys are a unit. So
are we a unit?
No, we're not married. All right, thank you guys so much for watching Journeys and Ambitions. Do you have anything to say, Jennifer?
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Share with your friends.
Peace and blessings.
What's
Journeys and
next
Ambitions. Next Friday, we're talking about more stuff.
Come to, it doesn't matter what our subject is, does it really? I mean,
yeah,
we have a baseline.
Share with your friends because we had 4 viewers today. Thank you so much for the 4 viewers. Tell your friends, share it with your friends. We're gonna have a guest later this month. I haven't posted it yet, but we're gonna have a guest later this month. I'm so super excited. Okay, bye. Love you.
Bye.